Good evening. Or whatever it is, wherever you are. So if I recall, we got all clad, we got crystal oscillators, and really it was all clad plus the rubber we need for the heat sinks. And then the heat sinks go into both the control units and the turbo motors, and then I think we've made all of the aluminum stuff. I think. And presumably somewhere in here there'd be some project parts if that part of the game was out. And maybe there'll be some aluminum stuff in nuclear as well. So we had just done the all-clad transfer station here, which, I mean, it just started moving, so I don't even know if it's going to be full yet. We've got some amount of oscillators being made, plus the backlog from before, which we're probably still dequeuing the backlog at this point. Well, maybe not. Lots of empty cars, but we've been really diversifying what this train's doing. Okay. So all our previous construction backlog is gone. And I do see a few oscillators backed up at the station here. So, well, that's correct, because that container filled that container. I know the little bit we produced since then. Yep, now they go in, and they'll get picked up on the next run. So that means we will have a full load at the other end when it comes time to use them. And then that delivered more... Right, it got shut off while it was going. So we've got a pretty good supply there. Well, okay, so it's taken all of the oscillators. And that's all we're doing at Crystal Station. Wait. No, you're also delivering the all-clad, right? Oh, but that's attached to the other side. Okay, well, it just picked up all that stuff, so now it's moving. I didn't use fast belts here because in the long run, I don't think it's going to be that fast. Probably should have tried to ride on the train there. We got some rail stuff. I'm not sure what all I'm going to need to make. I guess it's going to be... What are we making? We're making... heat sinks, which are 2-element. Shouldn't be an issue. We're making radio control units. Some manufacturers, and maybe at some point turbo motors. So that's at least 2 manufacturers. Plastic we can get there, the heavy modular frames we cannot. I've been debating whether it's worth putting a tube up here. Cables are a little bit low for cable, too. Actually, didn't I have... like a whole bunch of cable back at this box? Impressive that I actually went through the stuff I picked up already. I'm going to use some plates. And that should probably... not that it matters. We're so backed up on biomass. Is that a blue light? Must have been seeing something else. Oh, yeah, I wasn't really paying attention to that. That's probably gonna clip just a little bit. Oh, well, we didn't get a chance to see because we removed it. Didn't the train was coming through just there. This, I think, will get us enough height. Oh no, that's a pipeline support. I don't actually know if I have this in hypertubes. Is there even... No, that's transportation. Stackable hypertube support. It's kind of a shame they can't just use regular old, and then it's probably there. Pipeline supports. Maybe an earlier version of it did. Like, there's a pipeline up here somewhere. Whose clearance? Oh, we put it a little bit over and it ran across a pole, I bet. I'm actually not sure it's that much higher than the maximum extent of the pole. Yeah, I think maybe these have a default high position that's higher than the pipelines. Actually, we don't need to remove that. We can just stack on top of it. Actually, no, it's this one that really needs it. That one may have actually been okay at 2. I was just thinking you could do a really silly height change. Oh, well, no, I guess you can't. You can't even do that. Oh. Well, it still doesn't allow it. Oh. But Noodle does? Interesting. Okay, so that's a little bit of a different result. Well, actually makes that end look a little bit better. I almost want to keep it just for that. That does kind of slow you down there, though, doesn't it? All right. All right, we got some of that stuff. More organs. Man, I think of biomass as finite, but we sure got a lot of it. Yeah, I thought that I thought I just run out of materials for these things, but apparently they kept producing. However, I am not currently running supplies of the parts to make them, so I don't necessarily want to scrap them either. Of course, I'm technically not running out of rubber to make the other things either. $10 per. I don't think I'll be in that many manufacturers going. I'd probably get like. I mean, everything's producing so slow. I don't think I'm getting any volume here. I should almost put that on top of the storage. Always into his butt. Oops, there's a slug. Yeah, I think that big spiky pillar is around here somewhere. Purposely run this by the Caterium, but never put a stop in here. Alright. Right, that might be my leftover rubber slot. Or maybe that's the being the quartz I'm not using yet. We got a bunch of oscillators. We've got the oh, actually we're starting to run down Caterium, although we might be a little ways away from delivery right now. And here it comes. Ooh, we've not delivered a lot of all-clad. Okay, yeah, so that's actually empty right now. What if it's able to deliver all the quartz? Oh, this is all, yeah, well, I may have to use this train to deliver other things somewhere at some point, so that will make it an interesting challenge. This is proving to be maybe not the greatest place to have the train station, because I'm having to go around all my production stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty much filled up. And okay, that's getting pretty big chunks. So we've got coke going there. I think what we did is we brought all the rubber from over there, and right now it's just going to this machine, which is like pretty massive overload or overkill. Because you need what? Well, 45 per minute is something, but I think we've got like, let's use that. No, we're using fuel as a secondary over there. Oh, I might also have overflow shredding of it. Or is that the coke? Nope, that's overflow shredding of rubber, which... Oh, but you know what? I haven't done anything with the belts here. I may have actually been out of belts. Yeah, so you're 2020, so technically... You should be a 2. And you should be a 2. And you're only 2 of them, but you should probably still be a 2. And then that's already a 3. And that's a 3, and this is a 2. Although if we've got 2 and 2, well, and it might not be totaling up. Ah, okay, so yeah, there was a problem actually getting everything up to that point. When I'm using more of it, I might have to upgrade this. And then you were empty containers. Yeah, more plastic and packaged fuel. This might need to be like a Mark III or better when we're actually using things. Alright, so this is where this spacing seems like it might be awkward, but we can split that off there. Yeah. Or maybe I want to do heat sinks kind of in here, because we've got the rubber there, we're going to have the all-clad there. And really, I think heat sinks is what you need the all-clad for on all of this stuff. Which might means I might want to move this platform a little bit. I did not get more of that stuff necessarily. But actually, this I kind of wanted. Well, there's potential reasons to go to it from several places, because like this is where I was doing all the working with the rubber over there. But now I'm looking at, gee, I'm running out of space. Now these are assemblers. How fast do these build? 70 per minute. Well, okay, so that right there is going to be some high-class belts. 40 per minute. I don't know if we're even getting 40 per minute. I might be able to do 2 of these on the rubber side. Ish. And I think I need more rubber for the downstream stuff, so that even that's a little dodgy. No alternate for that. Yeah, more rubber for you. More rubber. Jeez. Those are going to produce slower, probably. So the rate might not be, well, 16 times 2.5 is going to be something. 24 times, that's going to be like 30, 45 something. Yeah, so I might only be able to do 1 heat sink. 10 per minute. It's not great. Well, I guess if I split the rubber, it'll sort of balance itself out. Okay, so rubber's coming in from over there. All-clad's coming in from over there. I wishing we had built this stuff someplace else. So I can swing it around over into this space over here. I've got a fair amount of space. Well, if I have to scale the oil production here, it's gonna... That could get a bit ugly. I think this is... Well, maybe this isn't all shallow, because I put the bridges in. Yeah. Some of it's shallow. Well, it thinks it can go out fairly deep. Well, I can take the all-clad, I can send it on. Or I can send the all-clad around. Probably the biggest incentive to do it earlier is that you're going to get to use cheaper belts. Because this is going to take some number of all-clad into a smaller number of heat sinks. Okay, that's Mark II. Right, because I had like 2+, and possibly they're a little bit underserved. Oh no, I didn't need Mark II out of those other ones, but no, it didn't like it went up. So it's 30, 30, 30. That's only 60. Then it, but 3 of those is going to be more than a Mark II. If we're running at full speed. Alright. Now this machine doesn't necessarily need the Mark III at its like final stop, but Maybe we can sort that out later. So one thing that's slightly annoying about these ramps, I don't think you can attach other foundations to them. So if I wanted to do something where I did kind of attach it to something, and I might actually be seeing that here, where I just kind of put a ramp here to terminate it. So I'd actually have to work from this side if I wanted to grid something. Or do you have a sort of a place for the... Well, I guess I could just take a stair down or something to make it look a little bit more grounded. Anyway, rubber's going to come in from that side. All-clad might have to be going up a little bit as it is. Individually, you're 40, so individually... That's fine. And 70, so potentially... this is going to be a splitter coming in from that way. Is that lining up the port? No, that's lining up the machine. And there's always that. Alright, so somewhere off of you... And we're feeding 2 T3 belts. Could potentially be using quite a lot here. Or 2 T2 belts. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fully stuff these things. Alright, you were 40 each. So we're going to need potentially that out. I do have a stacking thing going on here. It's another stack, but it's really not oriented right. The flying splitter is going to be a little bit annoying here. Easiest thing to do is connect to one and then split off to the other. Won't quite make it. Now I know you can't do multi-port splitter connections. But I think you can connect one. Okay, got power pole over there. Got a power pole in the water, sounds perfectly safe. We're still receiving everything. Well, because it just got power, I wasn't able to receive materials. Alright, we are producing heat sinks. I don't know that I really need a buffer for those. But we can do one for now. We're gonna need to move it past all this stuff. Maybe I actually want to do this as... I just want to do this as some kind of... like, leave room for a splitter in there. Well, this definitely could have been closer. I think that's what I had there. Lined up with the wrong thing. Alright, we have heat sinks. So somewhere over there, and hopefully this doesn't get too nasty here, I could totally move that pole up if I need to. Oh, well, our computer's been almost stocked up too. So for now, we'll just kind of do some free spacing out here. I think it's the control units that use the computer, the radio control units do the computers. Oh. Got a little bit of smoke here. So it's rubber. Oh, and then this is have to bring the crystal oscillators over too, which are probably going to be going around the edge again. And weaving through here somewhere. Yeah, that's why I kind of like the train station there. I guess I could do stuff over there. I'd have to bring the extra rubber over. I'd have to bring... Well, if I brought the rubber over there, we could combine it with the all-clad. So it would be, instead of all-clad and oscillators this way, it would be computers and rubber that way, and it's all kind of a wash. I might be able to get things through somewhere here, but right now it's a little bit awkward. So somewhere around here. I have almost no use for personal heat sinks that I know of. 40 per minute, 10 per minute, 2.5 per minute, 2.5 per minute. Computers might get kind of close too. That's actually, I think the turbo motors need heat sinks too. Or they just need the rubber. Yeah, the turbos also need heat sinks, so that might be our 10 and 10. Alright, so we got computers, we're going to have heat sinks. We're probably going to bring the rubber in from that side. I'm already seeing gaps in that. And we thought that might be a little bit over capacity. Computer's still backed up, so it's kind of okay. Well, that should cut down our shredding a bit. So, rubber come in from this side. This might actually end up being like computers there. Unless I bring the oscillators kind of up this side. Alright, you only need a 60 belt. Well, this machine only needs a 60 belt of rubber. So I need the rubber, I need the heat sinks. It's mostly going to be stuff on that side. And what else did I need? Oh, you probably need motors, don't you? Which, that is a problem we haven't solved yet. Yeah. We can make it more efficient with crystal oscillators, but we cannot avoid all the motor stuff. So, yeah, I would have to ship so much stuff back to where I have motors. I'd be better off shipping motors up here. And there is a copper and iron spot. I could probably do motor manufacturing there and then have the train pick it up on the way in. But that's even more stuff coming from the train, which I almost wonder if I shouldn't have 2 train stops up here. Or move the train stop. Because it's like, I'm using Deuterium here, I'm using All-Clad there, I'm going to be using Crystal over here, so it would almost be like you want to bring it around into this little bay, and then have all the little offshoots. Even though they're going to cross a little bit. Of course, then we're going to end up crossing some of these belts, which would cause its own problems. Oh yeah, I also need to look at if I've got any surplus rubber there. I don't think I did have surplus rubber there. Although, if my circuit board's backed up... Okay, that's coke. Then I would have surplus rubber. Right now I am definitely not backing up on rubber. I have an overflow. Yeah, this one is not. I don't think the other one's gonna. Well, that one was operating sooner, so I guess it could have backed up. Nope, not yet. So that's emptying out. I'm not sure if this is positive or negative. We don't get flow rates on those. Alright, so if I need other rubber, I might need... I mean, we're not going to be able to support everything. But in an optimal world, we could potentially support a Mark II over here for the split. Computers are going to be like... that's going to be probably aluminum. We're going to be using like 10 or 20 of those. It's only clipping a little bit. And then we need crystal oscillators, which I might be able to weave up and through here. Did I have... I had one there, and that's already a little bit too far. This actually could go to here. Somewhere along the lines, I looked at my plates, and it's like, oh yeah, that should be fine. Well, I was thinking of if I wanted to do like more of these platform things to like go out alongside the manufacturing. I might be able to T2 it and come back and fix it later. Alright, now what? We took this to a standard pole. Now, this could be where we kind of diverge a little bit and take it off to a different path. Because we do need to do that. Go around there, or I could go really high somewhere. And this is going to be a little bit of a delicate spot. This... it's like over there it's potentially going to come in very high. But I think this is already kind of at max... No, not at max height. Alright, what are we hitting here? We're hitting you. So we need to come over here and thread this needle. would be convenient. But I don't think I can really attach anything to this. I could do another setup here. It'll kind of leave this thing flying. Were you... Yeah, you actually were Mark II. Ended up being a slightly different height. That is not comfortably over there. That might be. Okay, so that's going to roughly correspond to this one. Alright, so that will start accepting its other materials. Shh. They kind of look like they've got aluminum already, huh? Maybe that's supposed to be steel. And these are actually going double speed because we had to use T2 belts. Alright, I don't know what your stack size is. It might be enough that we're going to produce these very... It takes plates. So hopefully we got a decent stack size. Well, I guess if I'm gonna be shipping motors anyway, I could use my current motors. I don't know how good my current motor assembly line is. I actually think my pipes are already a bit stressed there from doing the heavy modular frames. Oh, that requires steel. You can't just use the iron and copper there. That's the thing that always trips me up about motors, is the steel. Like, your starting location is the iron and the copper, but you can't use the copper without the coal for the steel. So if I wanted to build motors at that little spot down there, I would have to ship in coal or steel. And it's like, by the time I'm shipping stuff in, can I ship the motors? I don't know what it is about this particular spot. It's like, if I put it up high, I go flying, but I don't get hurt. At my other spot, I was able to angle things down a little bit. Well, if I went straight down, I had problems. If I angled it down slightly, I was fine. This, for some reason, always hurts. Maybe it's like I can put it way back here. Or it has to be an entrance. I'm going to run a lot farther. At least when it launches me, it puts me about where I want to be. And we go into a tree, so it doesn't actually launch me that far. Maybe the trick is to go into a tree? Nope. Well, that didn't hurt. I haven't built by the manufacturer yet. I guess I could have laid that down to get the parts out. One steel beam left. I mean, it's possible to have all kinds of things lying around here. But not so much that. This plate's the thing you're always running out of. Alright, as long as I'm here, let's have a quick look at motors. I've also got some pipe production over at Explosives, but there's currently no trains there. Although that could use a more reliable rubber supply. Oh, you were feeding into a project part. I don't think, well, I mean, it's blocked now, so it's hard to tell, but... oh, you know what? I don't want to look at that. Because this is the thing where it might have finally run out of rubber. In which case, if this was needed for project parts, then theoretically you would want a separate supply of them. No, it's still getting rubber. It's just using the motors really slow, so I guess we've got the supply. But I would have to do some interesting logistics here to get these onto the train. And then I don't think the build rate's very fast. Then again, turbo motors are going to be going slow anyway. Yeah, my pipe rate is already pathetic. I mean, I guess it's because we're building wow. Actually, because we're building the beams, we might be a little bit short on steel pipes, which are also being used for that. I could use to get my other steel pipe supply over here, or maybe have that area ship steel beams so that I can do all of its steel pipes into other things. There are still some definite logistic things to work out here. Now, rotors could be built with local bits. If I could just strip the stators. Well, that's the part that involves steel, so that's the bottleneck. I've already got this crazy belt. I've got a train here that doesn't really go anywhere useful for me right now. Although it does get pretty close to being hooked up to their line. So if I hook that train out and have the other train come here, well, might want to put a different stop, really. I don't think any of those containers are going to line up. I have to figure out which end we need to add the car on. Oh, and it also becomes a double-ended stop, which is going to become very hard to manage. I never even noticed that. And you are possibly a pretty important power hookup. I think almost everything here has room to do another. That's a little bit of an awkward turn, too. Does he, like, respawn here every time I leave? I think I'm hitting a branch or something in there. Ooh, man. That emptied out several of its cars. So that's probably what? And the oscillators we're not using a lot of. What's been there the longest? Oh, the Cateria might be a little bit backed up. Alright, this was overkill. We have produced 31. And I wanted to put you into a storage container so we can keep on producing more. And somewhere out here, geez, we're running into our fuel plant here. We're going to, I just kind of want to get the materials down. I don't know, I need to hook anything up yet. Let's get that plastic and stuff out of here. Might move it later. I mean, I can make a fuse by shoving some motors in. So radio control unit, heat sink, rubber. We could get almost every... Oh, I picked up some all-clad. I can probably stick that back into the storage container because if it doesn't go into the heat sink manufacturers. Ew, and it doesn't. Alright, do we pick up any other heat sinks or stuff? Alright, it's like, maybe I should set up the rest of the stuff here in anticipation of motors. Well, I have to figure out how to modify the train. That's gonna be a pain. So we're gonna have to fork the rubber. We're going to fork the heat sinks. Heat sinks are about that. There's only 20, at most 20 available. I want you to do some two-level belt stuff. Won't need computers, won't need oscillators unless we do this. That would be if I was making motors. Now, if I use this train, I would have crystal oscillators. Unfortunately, the train that's swinging by the base area where we have the motors does not have the crystal oscillators. Although it's going into the same station, we might be able to split those up. Where do I know that motor is really going to be a bottleneck here? Not like I'm producing superposition oscillators or anything. Oscillators. We've definitely not filled this, though. I don't know what our overall balance is like. Right now I'm just wondering, do I set up all the other belts for things? Just to have it done, and then worry about the motor logistics. What would I even do with this train? So I think this is the quartz crystal, which is one end of a fairly tight train stop. That's the all-clad. which that is at the Crystal Station. I think it stops going that way, so we have to move this train station up. We added it on that end. But I swear it's not shipping the rubber is, well, we've got the circuit boards, which are also made with rubber and coke. I guess you could ship the circuit boards and rubber. Although you'd have to do the Caterium. I guess I could have brought this down to the Caterium place and did the manufacturing and swapped stuff. I could have shipped circuit boards and rubber. That would only be 2 things. Because now we're doing Caterium, we're doing All-Clad, and we're going to have to do motors. So that's 3 things. So maybe I shipped things the wrong way? Or maybe I produced the computers here? And then shipped the... Yeah, that's what I need the circuit boards for. And that uses some of the rubber. So ship computers and rubber. Then you would get your all-clad and quartz oscillators somewhere with the rubber to make the heat sink. Well, then someplace you're going to want to be doing heat sink stuff, and then that's where you're going to ship in the computers, the quartz oscillators, the motors. Once upon a time, this train actually was doing plastic and rubber. So that would take... We're still shipping in the Caterium for the computers. We would not have quartz oscillators and all-clad on that train. Oh, but I was also thinking possibly using quartz to do its own all-clad here. So that was a small economy of the crystal stuff. So if that's the quartz crystal car, then we're not... Oh, you know what? I set that up to ship crystal for now, so we have probably run out of quartz crystal. Oh, yeah, there's like so much stuff to check. Because there's whether the source station has run out of quartz crystal, and there's whether the other station has processed it all. The rail layout is so kooky. Oh, I didn't realize I went through a wall. I guess we've got room to extend that. course, I certainly needed to see the other station to know if it's safe to set this up to load raw quartz. And I guess I could always use smart splitters for a while. Yep, okay, it's empty. Which means these containers are empty. Alright, so I left the machines here because I wasn't completely sure what to do. No. Yeah, because that was ready to control you. Okay, so there was nothing we need to do with those. At least not here. Alright, so you've got room. Oh, maybe I was doing you know what, you ended up being too close, that's what happened. But that is certainly one way we could make sure to have room for things here. You just about could swing around here. I was kind of thinking of putting these together, although if these are... that'd just be one really fast belt. Oh. Wait, is this just... are these pure? Yeah, okay, they're pure. Yes, that's one very fast belt. Only Mark III. Only Mark III. Oh, you only have to be Mark II. Well, this thing could be a little bit... yeah, this angle's not going to be convenient. Oh yeah, I'm gonna cut power again. Alright, planning. Probably could have raised that up sooner. Alright. Logistics. Could have used a lifter. My goodness, I actually used a high tier pole. Now, this will unfortunately gum up the works at the other station. Is the train... well, the train's coming this way. Well, I think it's gonna go around here, around here. So if I set out now, I'd probably pass it. Probably could have arranged to get me into the head car, but oh well. When are we near the quartz loader at the other end? Where did I get off? Other side. Okay. So right now we are taking straight quartz crystal into there. I had kind of set these up. I wasn't completely sure if I was going to use them. So now I need to use them. Let's see. You were T1. What's our individual rate here? Quartz crystal. 37.5. Okay, so this 22. I think where those are all a little bit underclocked. So that was 60. This might need to be T2 to actually satisfy all of these. If it gets short, I think I have like pure quartz or something. The way this comes in almost suggests a chain setup. But we can see what it looks like here. Did I do it? What's a splitter? Right. When you switch over, it's the input, not the output. It's not just a more convenient port. So we're going into 3 machines, but it wasn't really convenient to set it up 1-to-1. So it goes. Now, do we want to zigzag back, or do we want to swing back around the other side? I'm not doing my split there because of where my materials used to be coming in, I think. Yeah, I mean that's I guess it's about centered-ish. So I can run it back down to the belt I had. You're not particularly over across these things, with more over here. Maybe you'd swing around. Now, going over to here, while it works, is a little bit tight. Let's see, so that is the output loading. Okay, that's a little bit of a closer call than I wanted. I don't have anything for power over here. And of course we ran that out and maximized it. Alright, you're going to off take in materials. Oh, and we've got a train coming. Do I want to go where this train is going? It's going back out to oil. If anything, I want to go back to base, I think. Well, I may have to make adjustments to the train. How is All-Clad Train? All-Clad Train is going the other way right now. So at the moment, I really need to come to this place itself. So I'm wondering if I should kind of get this to go around to the oscillator station there. Or have a little fork point to go off there. Maybe the top of the hill? And I could even join up here if I needed to. Now this is my thing up to here. Maybe this wants a direct line. Plates are okay-ish. Alright, so you're actually down near the motors. Got a train line up through here. We could do something with that, but having that turn around that way was going to cause us a lot of headaches. This is technically a different train. It kind of reuses some track here. The electronics train has not been running for a while. I could probably get their car on the end of you, which means I might have to rebuild this station. Get the all-clad train to carry the motors up. Endedness-wise, that's a little bit of a problem. Of course, a lot of the problems there are because I'm mixing trains. Factorio train scheduling, and the fact that it's like you can technically have these on the same track. It's just it's kind of silly how they are all overlapping each other. Factorio can have actual like signaling and train scheduling on the same tracks, so it's easier to reuse your core infrastructure while having a dedicated quartz train and whatnot. So that you just have engine, you have all cargo the same thing. It doesn't matter if the train gets turned around. With ordered containers, it does matter if the trains get turned around. So coming up here to pick up some motors and then coming back this way would reverse the train, and that's not good. I could... Maybe if I rearrange this slightly and have it swing up this way. So it would do the all-clad, it would do a motor pickup, and it would come up here. And then we would be transferring all-clad and motors. We could do yet another train and have the all-clad train come up here, transfer to a new line that did all-clad motors, which did another transfer to this train for all-clad and motors. Or we ship rubber and computers out of here. Then what? We still need a train. I guess the rubber computer line will still be moved to the Caterium. We could make the Quartz Express its own line. Just delivering the quartz and then taking the oscillators to someplace else. I mean, this almost wouldn't need to be a train line, but it would be a here to here, and it would deliver stuff to somewhere central, because these seem like final-ish parts. Of course, I don't actually have a use for turbo motors yet. And this brings up the all-clad. We put that together with the rubber to make the heat sinks. I've got all the iron here. I've got more iron up here that I've never used, which could be used to make steel, particularly if I did some supplemental power somewhere. This is where I might want to go do nuclear first to see if there are any other logistics concerns I can roll into this. Because it's starting to look like I'd be better off, and it's going to be a heck of a translation. So we're gonna have some train cars to empty out. Well, let's see. So this place is currently sinking crystal oscillators. We would actually have to not be making the heat sinks there because stop shipping the all-clad. So we cut off we just kind of take this station out of the aluminum line. All-clad dries up. Keep delivering, I guess I just shut off the quartz delivery. Have that keep running for a while. Kind of let that drain out. Well, it would keep filling the train. So you shut it off, so eventually this train station works out. So this then would become 2 trains. You'd have one that would be just doing the quartz here, and then eventually delivering the oscillators. You'd have one here that would be we'd drain this train, rearrange it. Have it deliver rubber and computers. And I technically need circuit boards down here for other stuff too, but I think I might be fully utilizing the circuit boards. So it does Caterium, it does rubber and computers. The rubber and computers end up wherever we decide to put stuff together. So all-clad could come up here. Quartz could come somewhere. This had a thing down here, maybe? No, down here. once upon a time to deliver rubber and plastic to base. So that becomes rubber and computers. We've got All-Clad coming up this side. We had another computer delivery coming up from this side too. We run a train track across here, so we could possibly... Well, I'd need 2 tracks to have it make sense. We're gonna have 2 trains coming in. 3 trains coming in. Actually, yeah, if we do that, I'm gonna need 2 lines. So maybe this one kind of comes down this way. Actually comes around this side. Well, actually this, I don't... Man, from here almost looks like they had this as a pass-through and said, no, I'm not gonna do that. Maybe there's some place I could get it through. It's like you can go through, but it's not good for train lines and things. And again, I have a lot of manufacturing down here, so it would be kind of a pain to get a train through. We have to deliver the rubber to where the All-Clad is. That would need to get with the crystal oscillators. We have to have 2 train lines coming down here, or... Well, we can see if this is doable. Yeah, just tore everything down. I think the stop's still technically there. I guess that was technically uphill. Yeah, so that's open. This area, we could get through there. We would have a hard time getting through here. Maybe you could kind of sneak through that area. Well, this is probably also why we're getting out of car, but, maybe go around the edge. I mean, it's a scary place to work because it's death. You might be able to get a track over there. Oh, you're still here. Yeah, you're a fast one. I wonder if the timing is different with this computer. Oh, and you... Caterium node that I've never quite gotten around to tapping. Ugh. So that might have been the ledge I was on before. So that would be... I mean, trains don't do super well at vertical, I think. Now, I guess that could be a whole lot of platforms. Of course. If I'd been able to see that from far away, I could have gotten the rifle out. Pure Caterium. There's some detail down there. Is that a cave? I might be able to get down there with the jetpack. Could still be kind of harrowing. Of course, there's a little thing over here too. Somewhere. The purple slug. But that's like... I'm not even sure a jetpack would get you back up from there. So that's like a build down. Yeah, so the convenient path from there goes up. And we've got a big drop. If you went over the waterfall, you'd have to be able to get down. But I guess if this was the Caterium, I could pick up even more Caterium and... I think I'm backlog the Caterium right now, so that's not a big deal. Oh. Well, this is a harrowing spot to be. Yeah, I can't quite see the thing I want to see. Yeah, there's a cliff down there somewhere. Give the fall protection. Yep, save. I just don't have a good angle for it. Well, I guess there's a little bit of cliff out there, huh? Shh. That's probably too far. Well, maybe not. I'm actually not sure which end we're building from here. Too steep. Okay, so that kind of wouldn't work anyway. You'd need to have some intermediary platforms. It's like you kind of have to build something up at a slight slope around here, maybe? Or you'd have to go over this thing. And I think it shallows out in some of these areas. So that's actually, once you're up here, that's not a big cliff. This is going to be a big cliff. This is kind of where I came in through. That's where the track is. Yep. Where are you? Yep, we got two of them. That's not two, right? All right. So that's shallow-ish. And this is, you could squeeze the train through there. Yep, hi there. You're from up there, aren't you? Oh, nope. Yep. Stay too close. It's almost a shame that you can't do, well, I mean, I think the track probably comes right up here, but it just seems like a really circuitous route. Ah, jeez. Yeah, if anything, it's coming up over there. I so miss rails on the map. Yeah, so we got, this is, yeah, coming up this slope. So there's already track here. It would just, so right, we were going around this way. We could get through somewhere here to bring stuff in this way, leaving this route free for a quartz train, and then this thing, yeah, this thing coming here, quartz train come here. All Clad is currently coming through on this way. I could easily hook up to this. The motors are down here. They are not currently on trains. So I need rubber and heat sinks. Rubber heat sinks, motors, the radio control units. The radio control units need the computers and the rubber and the heat sinks. So you can't really produce them. You don't have to produce necessarily right at the motors. Might have some space out here. So boop, boop. All cloud would currently come up here or around this way. If we brought rubber over here somewhere, and the all cloud over here somewhere. Rubber would produce the heat sinks, rubber and computers. Quartz, and then we'd have the rubber and the heat sinks and the motors. Oh. Actually, there's a little bit of a ramp here, isn't there? If you come through here, might be able to skip this production stuff for the most part. And we're producing some of our high-end products near main base. Just because that's where the motors are. Alternately, I produce steel here and then do motor assembly there. But probably, if I were to hazard a guess, any eventual project. Oh, I was standing on the rail. Well, I don't think we're using that rail. Would be using, turbo motors and things. So, Is there? Yeah, that's where they join. Okay. So we can do, but like the where you put your turbo motors and stuff thing, I can't help but feel it's going to be a little bit influenced by what nuclear stuff is going to take. So to actually do anything with that, you know what? I never actually picked up any all-clad, did I? These are short-term things. I need that to use this, but I don't need it to see what the recipes are. Well, it doesn't let me see my completion status. $200 computers. I might not have 200 computers on me. I mean, either of my plants. Actually, I've got a place near here that has a bunch. I got supercomputers. And to go there and pick up the frames anyway. And I've got some AI limiters here. I probably might have some in the box. Actually, yeah, I took them off me. I guess I wasn't planning on doing smart splitters. There's probably some in the boxes up there. No, 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 no. One, two, three, four. Yeah, still bumped it. Is that you? No, that... Oh, this is my personal quickwire supply stash. And I might need to restock my supply at some point. Computers. We should... Yeah, we still got some. Oh. So this thing still has... Well, actually, it's probably backed up, but we actually do have a supply here. Having some circuit boards handy might be nice. Oh. Well... I can just squeeze it in that way.
Milestone reached. With the provided buildings and parts, you can now set up nuclear power generation, which balances an increase of fuel production complexity with improved power output. Uranium scanning unlocked. Note: this method of power generation creates nuclear waste.
Alright. Well, we also need to be concerned with... It's all power, right? Nuclear power plant. Hey, there's some supercomputers. And water, okay. $25. That's a little bit bigger jump. They used to be going in, you know, 30, 75, 150. It's a little bit more. Just a little bit. So, I mean, that we could build whenever. We just couldn't put anything into it. Okay, so there's input, output, water. And it's kind of a big boy. You're probably going to want this in a little bit of a far-off corner as well. It's basically got the... I guess that in some sense it's all just heat production to drive power, so it's basically... It feels like it's got a coal generator strapped on the back. That's the generator component. Anyway. The interesting part for us... is... Encased uranium cell. Encased industrial beam. Electromagnetic control rod. Well, there's stators. That we've actually got something set up nicely for that. And it's kind of by some encased industrial beams. Or we could boost that at the other spot. Encased uranium cell. Moderately radioactive. Electromagnetic control rod. Controls rods regulate power. Interesting. Encased uranium cells. Uranium pellet. Moderate. That's also moderately. Raw ore plus sulfuric acid. And, okay, 8 sulfuric acid and 2 sulfuric acid. So we got some of that. Oh, right, that's the residue. And then you bootstrap it by having sulfur. Okay, so actually none of this involves turbo motors or batteries or anything. For us, this might get us to start processing sulfur. I have to deliver plastic to make these. And some sulfur. It's like I have this, but batteries are just such an outlier right now. Okay, so right... Did I miss anything here? Well, okay, so there's uranium scanning. Which I can see if I've missed anything here. Nuclear power plant, fuel rod, control rod, encased uranium pellets, sulfuric acid. Oh, this will be the first time you officially require sulfur, I guess? Like, explosives were an optional tree. So I pretty much know where one is. Unfortunately, the train I've got going through there is not sure I would turn put radioactive stuff on. Oh, there's another one. Arr? Okay, now that's the one in the hill. Oh. Yeah, I've only lightly explored this area, and I seem to kind of missed that particular spot. Have I been there? It's pretty close to my quartz. Now this cave is through here. So I don't know if that's above or below ground. That might be above ground in that area. That's kind of like just where, and this was the radioactive zone, so really over here, probably do some scanning and you'd find it. Anyway, the thing I needed to know is that it does not interact with any of these train logistics. I mean, maybe I need to have some nuclear train going, and that will affect the lines. But where I do turbo motors and all-clad and... Well, did something use some all-clad? Or looking at the batteries I was thinking of. That's stuff I can produce in base. Currently. Concrete. Okay, sulfuric acid. I need to produce either the sulfuric... Yeah, maybe the sulfuric acid. So I might have to do some scanning for sulfur near uranium. Now they didn't give me... They don't give me ores as a part. Just says radioactive. Maybe the refined stuff is moderately radioactive. Versus radioactive. So it would be better to ship. They're both described as moderately. You would think encased was a little bit more moderate. Oh, the fuel rods are very radioactive. So you might want to do that step very close to the actual nuclear power plant. Actually, I guess nuclear waste isn't a part? Well, the other thing I have to see is... Well, to actually get into that. Quick wire, we've got... I don't have all clawed here. I don't think. I don't think I had any use to bring it with me. I mean, probably I could have brought some here just for unlock stuff. Well, I brought some for the other unlocks. So it's like we've got the rubber, we've got the quick wire. They wouldn't put, like, turbo motors in a filter, would they? I mean, I guess having that... The location of that wouldn't matter as much. We actually don't have anything in all-clad shipping. I don't really have a good way to get anywhere here. Because we're shipping it all out now. This is relevant. Biofuel isn't? I wonder if there was a change to allow lesser fuels at some point. Oh, is this a problem? No. If there was collision, that could have almost been a problem. Is that the Caterium that's actually got something in there? Needed 100, right? Of course, we've also got supplements just till it returns. Oh. We clip through one way and run into a wall this way. Alright, and... Oh. For all the rubber I had, I don't have 500. Oh, you know what? Well, I dumped a bunch of rubber and plastic. I don't think I may have... Well, rubber is being consumed here. I may have stored it for miscellaneous use. It's either that or I shredded it. Yeah, well, we definitely got rubber. Yeah. Bunch of plastic. Bunch of plastic. Bunch of plastic. I mean, for all of the plastic-looking stuff around you, it's kind of amazing how little plastic gets used. I mean, like, you see the blue plastic in all of the screw bins, but you get screws a lot sooner than you get plastic. Alright, so given no constraints from there, it's either add motors onto this train, which, I mean, technically speaking, is, well, I'd have to get the motors over to that train. Like, 2 different trains would have to have motor cars. Or I kind of like refactor the entire train network. And someday I need to go exploring up here. There's Caterium. Got sulfur there, which is not too bad. Well, like I said, it's kind of far, but it could be hooked up to this. I've been thinking of doing turbo fuel and stuff with that. Or experimenting with that. That's right. Oh, yeah. And this one... there's sulfur and coal there, so I could do compacted coal there. That's another thing to play around with. Crystal oscillators, rebuild, computer rebuild, aluminum unlocks. We need to refactor rails, turbo motors, Compacted coal. Turbo fuel. Nuclear. And if this train ever did get short on Caterium, I could pick up. There's a pier node here, so we could potentially do some. It's actually pretty close to where it could drop off stuff for this too. We could potentially do some high volume Caterium things. I almost need those. Actually, this is the Caterium train. You could pick some up and take it over here for this stuff. Yet more cars. Whoa. Putting the map on top of the scene like 100%'s the GPU. Huh. You don't think the map would be that much heavier, but I guess it's a whole other layer. So it looked like we were fully draining this all-clad here. I might need to have more bauxite. I don't even know if it's bauxite. I did a very toy build, and I just never needed it for anything, so I didn't have to scale. The heat sink production might end up needing more. Unfortunately, unlike the truck stations, you cannot see the contents of train stations, probably because there are technically multiple containers.
Milestone reached. With the new hazmat suit and iodine-infused filters, you will be protected against uranium-based radiation.
Alright. Okay. Nothing special there. The real problem is going to be the filters, because... So it is in fact gas filter. Quick wire and more rubber. Yeah, I don't think quick wire isn't something that I have anywhere near my current gas filter production. And that's more rubber. I've actually got a little bit of a cloth manufacturing over here. I don't have a regular supply of rubber. I'm not shipping coal anywhere. And I guess the well, I don't have an automated supply of mycelia, so that's manual no matter what. In which case I could keep on doing the drive a truck of rubber thing, I guess. I mean, this might be a case you just hand haul a few things every once in a while. It's like it'll be a manufacturer anyway. I wouldn't be build up an entire box of it. I might want to start stocking up on filters, though. I used to be doing like everything out here, and then I finally decided to develop the island area. And it's almost scary how, you know, that seems like it's all surplus, and now it's like completely tapped out. I'm probably gonna need to do some fuel development over here at some point. I haven't went to power yet, but or recently, but it was starting to thin out. Oh yeah, at times it looked like there was a little bit of a chasm down there. That's another place we have to be looking at. Yeah, so this place has both rubber. That was like a hitch without an autosave. So that was 100% CPU. Maybe it was 100% of the usable CPUs. I might have to bring some fabric here, because you are all out of mycelia. Oh wait, I had a storage box, so it'll last us a while. Yeah, the Caterium is a ways away from here. But I could drop off some Caterium every once in a while. Oh yeah, it was Caterium and more rubber. So probably dropping off Caterium is going to be the way to go. Oh, I can actually see the arch from here. Isn't that neat? Yeah, I can produce the compacted coal here. It's not anywhere near fuel processing, though. I guess if you want to do turbo fuel, you'd have to ship it. I don't need those yet. pick up some more bits. Alright. Maybe focusing on one life a little bit, just because we've got so many new people. But sometime we need to get in here and finish up turbo motors. And probably take a break before nuclear. Because that could be its own little project. Because I know there's the Astroneer update, and that has a limited time event. I don't actually know what that counter is. I know it was like 47 days at the start, which was what, a week or two ago. Anywho, that's it for tonight. Thanks to the subscribers. Thanks to everybody who hosted me tonight. I don't know. Probably got started a little bit later than I might have liked to. It was kind of short. It was kind of long. That's when I'm normally on, which is actually not usually tonight. Just felt like getting some work done. I don't know that much of anything's going on tomorrow. I'll see what I'm working on and what I feel like. For now, good night.